afternoon. My name is Miguel Socorro, and today I'm gonna talk about how did Americans feel, and how did First World War in our world affected Americans and us as the United States, and how did the government reacted, and how did the citizens felt at that time, especially the government, right? Because they were the one in charge and they had all the power to make any type of decisions they wanted to make at that time for us to be involved or not in those countries. So so in the United States, right, at that time when the war started, in the United States, public opinion about the war was strong, but it was divided at the same time. So, for example, socialists saw the war as an imperialist struggle between German and English businessmen. They saw it that way, and pacifists, right, believed that all wars were bad. Of course, like you hear the name pacifist, right? They want peace. They want, they don't want anything like really bad going on. And they urged the United States to set an example for peace, as I mentioned before, that group of people, and many other Americans simply, of course, like a lot of parents will want. I believe that my parents will want the same thing. They didn't want Americans to be sent to the war because it was something very, very dangerous, especially for young people, and also many naturalized U.S. citizens still had ties to the countries they came from. Many immigrants from Germany, for example, they had strong relationships with Germany. That they still loved that country, and that they were really worried at that time, and Americans tended to have a good relationship, right, with Great Britain and France also, and they shared a common language and heritage with Britain, of course, because we basically talk English because we were colonized by them way back before. But when Germany invaded Belgium, that was the first war, the first battle. I mean, they were horrified by Germany's brutal attack on Belgium, and they had strong economic ties with the Allies, right? And as I mentioned before, the Allies were made up of France, Great Britain, and Russia, which the U.S. at that time had a really strong relationship with. And how did the war affected Americans? That's another point that I wanna get at. The war affected American shipping, right? So Great Britain set up a blockade along the German coast to keep goods from getting through. So Germans couldn't get anything because they were blocked, and American ships would not challenge Britain's blockade, right? And German U-boats attacked ships from all nations. That was something really important because they literally, Great Britain blocked it, right? And they weren't allowing basically anyone to get any type of goods. And another thing is, why did the U.S. join this war, right? And three incidents brought the United States into the war. First, in January of 1917, Germany announced it would sink all ships in British waters on sight, whether they were hostile or not neutral. And second, British agents intercept Zimmerman note that it was a telegram that proposed an alliance between Germany and Mexico against the United States. Third, and for last, the replacement of the Russian monarchy with a representative government allowed Americans to characterize the war as a struggle of democracies against brutal monarchies. And on April 6th of 1917, at President Wilson's request, the Congress declared war on Germany. So these were the reasons that the United States got involved in the war. They literally declared war on Germany because of the brutal actions that they were taking, and it was something that that they crossed the line, and the United States, especially President Wilson at the time, felt that they had to get involved into this war in order to basically have a peaceful world and no more war, especially in Europe, and because nobody was getting anything good from it, except blood and people losing their lives and families getting ripped apart. I believe it was a really good decision made by the president at the time.